What's the difference between stainless steel, cast iron, carbon steel, non-stick, and copper cookware? And does the material of a pan actually make a difference? In this video, I answer these questions. I've not only been cooking with each material for several years, but I recently put them through a series of controlled tests to measure how fast and evenly they heat, how well they retain heat, their non-stick properties, searing power, how well they work on induction cooktops, and more. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of each cookware material, what they're best at, and how to choose the right pan for your cooking needs. First up is stainless steel. I recently posted a poll and asked people, what type of cookware is your favorite? And of the 3,000 plus people that responded, 60% said stainless steel. But what makes it so popular? Before I get into that, I want to quickly thank Made In for sponsoring this video. I've been testing and reviewing Made In pans since the company was launched, and it's consistently one of the best performing brands. They offer a range of professional quality cookware at fair prices. You'll see their pans throughout this video. So the reason stainless steel is so popular is because it's the most versatile cookware material. You can use it on any cooktop, including induction, and it's oven safe. It's also lightweight and heats fast and evenly. Because steel is non-reactive, you can use it to cook any ingredient, including highly acidic foods like tomato sauce. Stainless steel pans are also incredibly durable. They won't dent, and you don't have to worry about chipping, flaking, or a non-stick coating wearing down. If you treat these pans right, they'll last a lifetime. Good quality stainless steel pans like this one have a thick aluminum core sandwiched between two thin layers of steel. Steel is durable and non-reactive, which makes it ideal for the cooking surface and exterior, but aluminum conducts heat much faster and more evenly, which makes it a great core material. The biggest downside of stainless steel cookware is that food can stick, and it can be difficult to clean, especially if the heat is too high or you don't grease the surface well enough. It can also develop rainbow stains from oxidation and white spots from minerals in your tap water. Fortunately, sticking can be avoided, especially with meats. Just preheat the pan, then add oil and let the food sear. Once it forms a crust, it will naturally release from the surface. The mistake that most people make is that they try to move the meat around the pan or flip it too early. Let it cook for a little bit, then give it a nudge. If it moves without any resistance, it's ready to flip. Sticking in the first couple of minutes is more of a feature than an issue. The sticking creates direct contact between the meat and the hot pan surface, which helps form a delicious browned crust. The sticking also leaves behind little brown bits called fond, which are packed with flavor. After you've removed the meat, you can deglaze the pan with wine, stock, or other liquids to dissolve the fond and create the base for a flavorful pan sauce. And yes, you can cook eggs without sticking. You just need to follow a few simple steps, which I go over in another video that I've linked in the description. As far as cleaning goes, warm water and dish soap usually do the trick, and white vinegar will instantly remove the rainbow stains and white spots. For discoloration and grease that is baked into the metal, you need to scrub a little bit harder with Barkeeper's Friend, but it will come off. The bottom line is that stainless steel is the ultimate all-purpose cookware. It's versatile, durable, safe, relatively lightweight, and has no limitations in terms of ingredients, cooktops, or techniques. The second most popular cookware, according to my poll, is cast iron. And there are two types, bare cast iron and enameled cast iron. The main difference between the two is that bare cast iron needs to be seasoned and enameled cast iron doesn't. Seasoning involves coating the surface with oil and baking it in the oven for about an hour. The oil polymerizes and protects the iron from rusting. Enameled cast iron, on the other hand, has a thin layer of hardened glass that acts as a permanent barrier. This eliminates the need for seasoning, prevents rust, and allows you to cook acidic foods without damaging the surface. Regardless of the type, all cast iron cookware comes with one major benefit, and that is heat retention. Cast iron pans are made with thick walls that absorb and retain heat better than any other type of cookware. So once they heat up, the temperature remains steady and cooks your food evenly. To prove this point, I heated 5 pans made of different materials to exactly 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I took them off the heat and measured the surface temperature after 5 minutes. At 178 degrees Fahrenheit, the cast iron pan retained the most heat and had the highest temperature by over 50 degrees. The next closest was the stainless steel pan at 123 degrees. I heated the cast iron pan again to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, took it off the heat, and added a third cup of pancake batter. Even though there was no heat source, the pan retained enough heat to cook the pancake perfectly. I did the same thing with a copper pan, and the pancake barely cooked at all since copper doesn't retain heat at the level of cast iron. This ability to retain heat is both a strength and a weakness. While it's excellent for maintaining steady temperatures, it also means you have less control. If something starts to burn, or you're cooking a sauce that's reducing too fast, turning down the heat won't cool the pan quickly. You're trading responsiveness for stability. Cast iron has other trade-offs too. Most notably, it's significantly heavier than other cookware. For example, the made-in 11-inch cast iron pan weighs 5.9 pounds compared to their 12-inch stainless steel pan at just 3.2 pounds. It also heats up much slower than stainless steel pans. The enamel can chip, it can break if you drop it on a hard surface, and since the body of the skillet and the handle are all one piece, the handle gets extremely hot. Also, highly acidic foods cooked for long periods can ruin the seasoning on a bare cast iron skillet. Cast iron has more limitations and quirks than stainless steel, but its ability to hold heat makes it the ideal material for searing, baking, frying, and any other meals that benefit from a steady temperature. With a little bit of butter, it's also great for eggs. If you like the idea of cast iron, but want a pan that's lighter and more responsive to temperature changes, carbon steel is the answer. Unlike cast iron skillets, which are made in molds, carbon steel skillets are made by rolling out sheets of carbon steel, cutting the dimensions, and punching the pan into shape. This process results in cookware that's thinner and less bulky. For example, the made-in 12-inch carbon steel pan weighs over 1.5 pounds less than the 11-inch cast iron pan. Because it's much lighter than cast iron, it's great for sauteing vegetables, tossing food, and any other situations that require you to lift and maneuver the pan. Another benefit of carbon steel is that it's incredibly durable, and it can withstand extremely high temperatures, which makes it ideal for searing. Just like bare cast iron, carbon steel needs to be seasoned to prevent rust. But as an added benefit, the seasoning also makes the surface almost as slick as a non-stick pan. The main downside of carbon steel is that it doesn't heat as evenly as materials like stainless steel and copper. In my heat conduction testing, I measured the center and the edge of each pan after 2 minutes. The carbon steel pan showed the most significant temperature difference between these 2 points. Fortunately, there's a simple solution. Preheat the pan slowly and thoroughly. This prevents warping and ensures even cooking across the entire surface. The bottom line is that carbon steel offers similar benefits as cast iron, but it's lighter and more responsive. And while it's not ideal for acidic ingredients, a well-seasoned carbon steel pan has better food release and is easier to clean than stainless steel. Non-stick is a general term that refers to any pan with a PTFE or ceramic non-stick coating applied to the cooking surface. The base material is usually aluminum because it's inexpensive and it conducts heat well. But the problem with aluminum is that it's less durable and it's not compatible with induction cooktops. Some brands, like Made In, apply a non-stick coating to a fully clad stainless steel pan. This type of construction is more expensive, but it's more durable and it's compatible with induction cooktops. Regardless of the base and coating materials, the #1 reason people love non-stick cookware is its convenience. Food doesn't stick and it wipes clean in seconds. Although carbon steel and cast iron pans can become non-stick over time as the seasoning builds, these are the slickest pans by far. And because of that, they are the most beginner-friendly and convenient. A good quality non-stick pan can be so slick that you can cook eggs and pancakes with 0 oil or butter, and sticky foods like cheese release with no issue. All that said, non-stick pans have one major issue. They don't last forever. If you take care of stainless steel, carbon steel, and cast iron pans, they will last a lifetime. Unfortunately, this is not the case with non-stick. Most non-stick cookware lasts between 2 and 5 years. If you avoid scratches, maybe a little bit longer. But eventually the non-stick coating will wear down and lose its effectiveness, and at that point, you need to replace the pan. Besides that, non-stick pans typically don't sear and brown as well as cast iron carbon steel, and stainless steel. These pans are excellent for eggs and they're easy to clean, but they're best used as a supplement to a larger set of more durable, longer lasting cookware. At just 2% of the vote, copper is the least popular cookware material according to my poll. But I have a feeling that outcome is because it's the most expensive material and therefore fewer people have ever used it. Copper has high thermal conductivity, much higher than stainless steel, cast iron, carbon steel, and aluminum. Most copper cookware is made with copper on the exterior to take advantage of the conductivity. But because copper reacts with acidic foods, the cooking surface is usually lined with stainless steel or tin. The biggest advantage of copper is how quickly and evenly it heats. After 2 minutes of heating on medium, the temperature difference between the center and edge of the copper pan was just 48 degrees Fahrenheit, while the stainless steel pan had a difference of 116 degrees. Copper is also known to be incredibly responsive to temperature changes, so when you turn the heat down or take it off the heat, it cools down relatively quickly. While this responsiveness gives you excellent control, it also means the pan doesn't retain heat as well as materials like cast iron. So when you add a cold piece of meat, the surface temperature cools and it takes a bit longer to get an even sear. The main drawback of copper is its price. For example, Made-In's 11-inch copper pan costs more than twice as much as their 12-inch stainless steel pan, and that price difference is consistent across brands. Besides price, copper looks nice and shiny initially, but after just a few cooking sessions, it can tarnish and develop a patina from oxidation. You can polish it with salt and vinegar, but it takes ongoing maintenance to keep it shiny. Copper is also dense, so copper pans are usually heavier than aluminum and stainless steel pans. Lastly, copper isn't ferromagnetic, so it doesn't work on induction cooktops. The reality is that copper might have a slight edge over stainless steel when cooking delicate ingredients and sauces due to its responsiveness, but most home cooks won't notice enough of a difference to justify the cost. Copper is worth it if you absolutely love the beauty of it, but otherwise, you're better off investing in quality stainless steel cookware. If it's not obvious by now, there is no best cookware material. They all have pros and cons and serve different purposes. To make it easy to compare, I made this chart that breaks it all down. Pause the video to read. Regardless of material, if you're looking for high quality cookware, I highly recommend Made-In. I've been testing this brand since 2018 and it's consistently a top performer. I've linked to their most popular collections in the video description. If you want to learn more, check out this video where I break down the differences between cast iron and carbon steel, or this video where I reveal the biggest mistakes people make when buying stainless steel cookware. And for more videos like this, click the logo to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.